So I finally get why people were so annoying about Expedition 33. This is a bit of a follow-up to one of the prior episodes that we did where Sean was telling us about it. And it kind of gave me the impetus to finally start playing it. I was looking at that, and I think Unicorn Overlord was the other game on like the list of I want to play something right now that I have been putting off.
Right.
And
hell of a name.
Expedition, it's a horrible name. Expedition 33 ended up winning out, and I went through that game in such a rapid tick, and I absolutely adore it. That, yeah, I get why people were so annoying about it. And there's such an interesting, longer discussion to be had that we probably won't have here about how people struggle to explain why they like a thing without calling it the best thing ever. Because it's not the best thing ever. But I think that's what led to this, similar to Blueprints, this visceral discourse back and forth between the two, where you had people saying this game is really special, which then turns into less eloquent people saying this is the best thing ever, which turns into people, even with like Silksong, people who aren't used to the genre playing it and then saying, I don't get it. This is an industry plant.
Well, it's peak, bro.
But I think that with time, Expedition 33, and I know this is going to sound crazy, will be looked at in a similar vein to a game like a Chrono Trigger. Not necessarily as an all-time great of the genre, don't get me wrong. Potentially, it does some really, really cool things, and it does them really, really well. But more in the sense that its length is so much less intimidating than you think it is once you start.
I don't hear that a lot.
Because this game is like, I beat it in like 23 hours, 24 hours. And you can do everything in about 30, 40 hours if you're fast.
And you feel like you got a full experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. The reason I ask, right, is like I look at that game every time I see it. I'm like, I just don't have 200 hours, right? Because like this is what an RPG is anymore, is 200 hours of just fluff.
It is not. So it is incredibly well paced. Well, it has some pacing issues, but it's not related to the length. It's related to the act structure of the game, if that makes sense. But those are in service of character moments. So the plot takes a bit of a backseat at a point, like it does in a lot of RPGs. Mm-hmm. But the side stuff you then have to do to progress the main plot is still relevant to the characters. So it works. No, that game is short, positive, parentheses positive. I think you could do everything. I think I'm like level 80 out of 99, and I've done most of the stuff in, I think it's like 26, 27 hours of game time. I might be at 30, actually. I don't want to say it's only 26. And keep in mind, everyone, I play games pretty fast. I don't skip anything. I just, for some reason, I'm fast at games. I don't know. But
that's true. That is true.
Yeah, it was... I've been thinking about it frequently since I got to the credits. And it's... You know that feeling when you beat a game and you want to stay in the world and you want to go do side stuff? Mm-hmm. This is the coolest example of a game taking that concept and making me question it because I'm so satisfied with what they did, and I'm so conflicted by because it's a sad game. I'm so conflicted by then what it does that the act of continuing to play what would be like the post game stuff had me like, do I want to do this or should I stop? And I'm glad I did keep going because there's a lot more lore and a lot of world building that comes in that side stuff. But it I don't want to repeat too much of what Sean had said in that prior episode. But if you're on the fence, I can say you will probably understand why people were so annoying about this game if you give it a shot.
Even just the hour and a half I put in for the intro, right? Like I was very quickly like, oh, like I can start to see, to your point, why people were annoying about this game.
And that first hour or so is incredibly punchy. Like that game gets you in an hour. You are in combat doing things within an hour. It gets to its premise. It doesn't sit on it and over explain it. It just goes. And I kind of respect that after playing Pokemon ZA, where there's a 3-hour tutorial. So
yeah,
3-hour tutorial.
It's an extended story sequence that has a lot of tutorials in it. Yeah.
A fair bit of that is like, here's the city, but don't go that way or that way. Go to the character that's telling you where to go.
It's annoying. And in our Twitch chat, we stream these live on Twitch every Tuesday around 6:30 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/crub_official. Chimbus in our chat mentioned, to put it into perspective, Expedition 33 is slightly longer than Pokemon ZA. And based on my playtime, that's 100% spot on. It is not long. And that's, again, to close out what I'll say about the game. The Chrono Trigger comparison I'm making is you hear Chrono Trigger as one of this, best game of all time, best RPG, best, most influential thing for somebody's childhood. Mm-hmm. And you assume it's this intimidating 100-hour monolith of a game. And it not monolith, but you know what I mean? But it is like 20 hours, maybe 40. And that's what this game is. And it just gets in. It does some really, really cool things as far as like games as art and narratively. And it makes me want to play it again to see the things that I missed. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to anytime soon, but thankfully there's a New Game Plus. If I want to, I can just, speed through it.
Okay.
But a big recommend. And I thanked Sean and said, screw you to him, because I was like, man, that game ruined me. How dare you? But also thank you. So double recommendation from Crub now. And Nico is playing it. I convinced him to play it, and I haven't heard what his thoughts are. But the fact that he's playing a turn-based RPG should tell you that how I've gushed about the game is convincing. Yeah.
He hates kind of all of the letters that are in that. So yeah.
Yeah. I told him there was parrying and Dark Souls level ups, and he liked it. So that got him in.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Because it's an RPG with like Dark Souls stats, which is interesting.
It's all part of our ploy to get Nico to play Paper Mario.
Speaking of games that didn't come out super recently, it is kind of a Paper Mario game. Speaking of games that came out kind of recently, but not super recently, Trav, you were telling us right before we started this about, I'm forgetting the name now, the Vampire Survivors new one, Megabonk.
That's right. Yep, there you go. Okay. I was just going to wait until you got the name right.
I had to think about the PC Engine, and then I got it.
What? Okay.
Bonk's the game, man.
I get it.
You don't know Bonk, you coward?
Oh, wait, the guy with the big head?
Yeah, the game guy.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that guy. I assumed
it was a new Bonk game because we have a new goddamn Bubsy.
That's true. Didn't we get aren't we getting like a Tomba thing too? Like a Tomba remastered or something?
I think one of them got remastered already by
we were too slow.
Carbon Engine.
That could have been us. Anyway,
Megabonk. I knew that was a you game and Chris game the moment I found out what it was. So
So for reference, let me pull it up real quick. I have way too many hours in Vampire Survivors. It is a simple game. All you do is you move around. You're attacking automatically. It is hardly 1 gigabytes worth of data, and I have 150 hours in it.
God.
Because even once you complete everything, it's just like I just need number go up. I have an addictive personality. Apparently, I didn't know this prior to Balatro or Vampire Survivors. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Balatro dev, for helping me discover this part of me. And then I went to a friend's house, and she put on a stream of some streamer playing Megabonk, and I'm like, oh god, this looks like Vampire Survivors but 3D. I can't do this. This is dangerous for me. I cannot play this. And then I go back to her house like 3 weeks later. She's playing it on her Steam Deck, and then she buys it for me. And then we're both sitting on the couch together for like 5 hours straight, just playing Megabonk on our Steam Decks independently, just sitting on the same couch playing it. And I'm having a great time. And now, fast forward, and I have, already 25 hours in it. And I think I've only had the game for a little over a week.
Jeez.
That's like part-time job territory there.
Yeah, I really should have been streaming it.
I can't judge because my Expedition 33 playthrough went so quickly, so I understand. To be fair, some of it was on Football Sunday, so I pulled it up, played it, streamed it via my Steam Deck I was doing it through Game Pass, since I'm waiting for my Game Pass to end, and it was there.
Yep.
I'm also waiting for your Game Pass to end.
Yeah, you keep stealing mine.
It's Chris, like $30 now, man.
You're a Vampire Survivors. Yeah, I'm literally just waiting it out, and then once it's done, it's done. Chris, you're a Vampire Survivors player, and I always look at those games in like you said, number go up, cookie clicker sort of. It's not a cookie clicker directly, but that's the kind of vibe I get out of it. You said you haven't picked it up because you're afraid. So has that convinced you?
I already know. Like I pulled it up just so I could link it to our chat. And it's like I can tell just by looking at it. I know what it'll do. I wanted to ask Trav, actually, does this do the same thing as Vampire Survivors did, where it starts off real slow and then it just slowly trickles in the like, that's how this could expand, and this is how the hook gets in? Does it have that vibe?
Much like Vampire Survivors, it does a thing where you boot it up and there's not a lot of options, which made me think that it's an early access game or something like that. But then you keep playing it and more options keep appearing on like the title screen and then the character menu and then the tools and weapons and upgrades you can get, to the point where I have just now reached the final boss of the first level, because it's a slow creep, but yes, it is very much like that. It doesn't have the weird surrealist lore that Vampire Survivors will just drop you in for seemingly no reason, which I actually really liked how that did. But there's nothing like that, but just the scaling of how much you unlock things and all that is very Vampire Survivors. But here's the thing. You can jump. There's 3 dimensions. So it's a little bit more engaging off the bat.
I've seen people also invoke Risk of Rain 2 in reference to this game real early on. Well. Yeah.
It is very Roar 2. Yeah.
Roar.
So I wanted to poke at this, the Roar XD of the group. Chris, I didn't know you were a Vampire Survivors head.
Oh, whoa. I had all the trophies on PS5 until the last update or two. I played a lot of it. I played some of it on Steam, PS5. But eventually I wound up getting it on PS5 again, and that's where I really put my time in. And that was like 2 weeks of my life. I don't remember.
Because I was going to say, I'm looking at... Oh, my God, Chris! I'm so sorry. The Vampire Survivors Balatro DLC just came out.
That's why I'm saying I'm trying to not think about it, because I know what'll happen. That's like mixing crack and cocaine.
In my crack.
I'm gonna throw out a question here, because this is a whole genre that I avoid. Not because I won't like it, but because I am afraid. And the way that I've looked at this game, because you've mentioned it around the same time, Chris, as specifically games that you have as like the idle, cozy bottom of your desktop games. Would you put those in a similar category, like the games that just exist on your desktop as like a little lower bar that do their own thing? You kind of interact with them slightly. It's almost like a cohabitation with your game. Because you said it was on PS5, and that throws me off. Then that I'm combining these two subgenres that aren't really that.
I'm gonna let Chris answer it.
Good job, thank you. I appreciate that. I'd say they scratch a similar itch inherently, but it's one is much more passive, and I wind up the bottom of the desktop games, like they're just there, but I wind up focusing in on them real hard. Vampire Survivors likes are a lot more involved because you're actively managing the character the whole time and exploring levels, so it's different, but I get addicted in like the same way, you know.
That's what I kind of figured, both because I have seen gameplay of it, and I know that you can move around. I wasn't sure if there was like an auto play itself element, because I think we've talked about those in the same conversation. Yeah, and it's gotten me mixed up a little.
The main one I've played is Rusty's Retirement. I keep wanting to say Real Deal Baseball every single time. And that one's just
every time you say that game, I think of Real Deal Baseball.
Yeah. And that one's just like, you plant some things and the little guy like hobbles over and waters them, you know, and you build little drones to like harvest the plants and recycle them and stuff, right? So it's passive, but I just focus on the numbers and make it not passive. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll throw to a couple of the folks in the chat who have mentioned what they've been playing, because there's a couple interesting ones that I want to briefly hit on. So Frost had mentioned in the chat that they played Metroid Prime Remastered, getting ready for Prime 4. And I've had the urge. I haven't played that game since I first played it back in like 2015 or so. I had played a bit of 2 multiplayer on GameCube back in the day, a tiny bit of 3, I think, you know, at my friend's house. But I didn't really sit down and play 1 until 2015. And I haven't gone back because that experience was so special. So I've been I have the remaster. I just haven't gone back. And I know, Trav, obviously you've played it millions of times, but I I'm getting the urge as we're nearing Prime 4, but I'm also still on record hoping that I'm wrong, that I think that they're not super confident in Prime 4. The final trailer they just released, or the new trailer they just released today at the time of recording, did look a lot better. Okay. But have you been going through Prime, or have you been thinking about going through Prime, Trav, as we get closer?
Oh, yeah. I've already been kind of going in between all three of them, trying to think about how I want to handle this for the next 30 days.
Content type stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I figured.
I'm conflicted because I still haven't put out my new Doom video, but also Metroid comes out in like 30 days. I feel like the Doom bubble's already kind of passed. Maybe I should just focus on Prime 2 for now, and then I'll get back to Doom.
I think I thought about doing something. I told Chris about an idea I had for a script for Metroid, which is related to when I played it back in 2015, and I'm turning that into something for a book that I'm helping work on, contributing to. Can't speak too much about that yet, but I thought about turning it into a video for a long time, and I thought about then, well, I'd have to put it out quickly if so. And I wouldn't worry about the algorithmic bubble on Metroid, I don't think. I think it's always going to be there or not. Yeah. You know, there's not a ton of hype for Prime 4 currently.
As hyped I put out as it that is. Zero Mission video like 2 years ago, and there was really like no hype for Metroid, and it still did better than most of my other videos at that time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. The other one I wanted to mention that I saw someone talk about was Logan popped in the chat and said that they just finished The Evil Within, and that's an interesting one to me, only because I mean, I've seen Nico play it, and I know he kind of enjoyed it. That was one of the first video games he like played as a gamer.
Forget that guy.
But it's interesting because I wonder if that game's reputation has been like, it could be not redeemed, but like with more retrospect on it now that it's not being seen as just the Resident Evil 4 spiritual successor. Like I feel like people are rosier about that game now. And that's an interesting thing that I wanted to throw out to the class.
I have no idea. I don't think about that game and forget it exists. Was that Tango, right? Tango Gameworks?
Yes. That was their first. I don't know if it was their first game, but that was the Shinji Mikami's first.
I wonder if there's space akin to what you're saying for like now they're like the they got bought up by some company, but yeah, like that kind of like, oh man, screw Xbox, we love Evil Within now because of these guys, you know.
Yeah,
or if that only applies to hi-fi.
I would think it's mostly hi-fi, but even I looked at one point that studio did get bought, but then like their website still like Xbox still implies it's part of them on like some of their websites. Yeah, and then also half their staff had already left because they got new jobs when they got fired.
Yeah, I know they got bought by Crafton technically, but I do know that the Xbox stuff still shows that Tango's there, and I don't know, man. I'm curious what the actual behind the scenes sort of deal is.
Yeah. I want to see more. I know that Crafton has the rights to the series for Hi-Fi Rush specifically.
Yeah, well, Crafton hasn't been doing super hot.
Yeah.
You know, you got to remember the whole Subnautica thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, there's a whole. Yeah. Speaking of industry not doing well right now, you, M, mentioned that you have been playing Arc Raiders. What do you think?
So I decided to go on a little bit of an adventure because I got invited to try out a marathon. And then I went and tried Arc Raiders because I also got invited to try that out before it came out. I'm not playing either of them right now. So I feel like that really kind of, tells you what's going on with those games. I don't want to be mean because I feel like these have a place out there, but I think maybe the PvPvPvE, kind of Escape from Tarkov light approach isn't really doing it for me. I did see that a lot of people are enjoying the Arc Raiders single player, solo play, because people are not just kill on sight, which is fascinating because I've never seen that happen in a game before. And I think maybe it's because they might have figured out how to make the loot gathering sort of loop that you have in these games, which is normally really awful, not so bad by making it all valueless. which is like a problem, but also kind of a solution. It's interesting. Because like typically when we're talking about these types of games, when you talk about like a Tarkov or whatever, right? Like, boy, that loot is valuable. That loot is really important. You can go actual weeks without seeing a quest item in Tarkov, right? Like, boy, you imagine you see that quest item and somebody else says they've got it. They need to die, right? But in this game, in Ark rather, loot is so incredibly worthless.
That is an interesting spin on it. Like that, like, are you just getting loot for the sake of, oh, that guy has a cool armor piece that I want at that point then? Or
yeah, right. So from my experience, and again, I haven't played a whole lot. I didn't pay for the full version. You know, I played it when it was on alpha and beta and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why I was invited. You know, it could be just because I have a good Steam account, or it could be because I'm a creator, so I don't even know who I was playing with. And my experience in that world was that loot was kind of meaningless. You know, just in general, it was like, oh, you get it no matter what, and it's not hard to get. And if you need this thing, you can go get it pretty reliably. And there's going to be a bunch around, so there's no reason to get into a fight unless you're actively looking for PvP, and there are better games to play PvP in.
Crash course me here as someone who got invited to the Marathon beta and then did not launch it. What is an extraction shooter in like a sentence?
You and a potential squad enter a map that has been ongoing for some period of time to take loot and then extract out.
Okay.
So you'll go in and you'll randomly spawn on a map. People have already been playing for some period of time, right? The map has been up for a couple of hours maybe. And you just spawn in, and then you run around and get stuff or kill people or whatever. And then you go to a shown spot on the map, and you extract out.
Okay.
With whatever you get. And if you get out, you got it. That's more than a sentence, but
think kind of like a persistent battle royale, but you keep stuff, is what I was going to say.
So it lines
not
up
battle royale
with
mechanically, but yeah.
Sega's Hyenas, you may recall. I played that, but I didn't know how indicative that was of all of this.
Not quite the same thing.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, Hyenas was more border royale.
The loot in that game was more valuable, though, because it was like a Sega Genesis.
Right, you could steal a Sonic statue and escape a space station.
You could. Yeah, it was. It's an interesting sort of genre of game that we've seen very much come off of battle royale, right?
Yeah.
Like when you look at the thing, right? We saw it all come from Arma to battle royale, and then straight from there to Escape from Tarkov, and Tarkov kind of created this extraction shooter thing, and everybody's doing extraction shooters. We saw as soon as the new games were announced last year, I don't know, 7 extraction shooters were announced, which is wild. There are all sorts of them. They're in all sorts of different genres. There's a D&D based one. There's the
new Delta Forces one.
Delta Forces, an extraction shooter. There's so many of them. It's hard to actually kind of think about it, right? Like, is what I think there's even an extraction shooter mode in Fortnite now. Like, there's
that makes sense for them. They
so
would
much
kill it dead.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because like. Shout out to Ubisoft for being ahead of the curve by canceling theirs way earlier than everybody else. No, it's interesting because it almost feels like the extraction shooter genre, from what I've seen of those communities, have the whaliest of whales of traditional games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why they're doing this, is that if you get someone hooked, you're just manipulating kind of an addictive personality to, get
these
them
are
on
people,
this game and this game alone forever.
Yes. These people will drop hundreds of dollars, no problem. Hundreds of dollars. And that's like an average thing, right? Like, so when you look at Escape from Tarkov, they sold a whole mess of their highest level, whatever game, I guess, edition it would be. And I think that was sold at $290, and it sold like tens of thousands of copies, maybe hundreds of thousands of copies. And then they introduced a higher tier level that was like $400, and those same people bought that next version. And now they've released it on Steam again. And oh, by the way, it doesn't carry over, so if you want to play it on Steam, you got to buy it again, and it's selling again.
It's impressive that it does that well. It's one of those. It's not exactly this, but it's one of those are we out of touch moments when I see that and I'm like, where are all these millions of people that I don't see engaging with the wider gaming, discourse that are diving into these games that until, the last couple of years you would not have heard of, even if you were in the weeds, like we're in the weeds. And I knew of Tarkov, but I just assumed it was a very different game until, when extraction shooters became a proper genre that people talked about.
Yeah. I think that this is the same group of people who play War Thunder. Personally, I think this is the same group.
So they're going to leak documents. I got you.
Right. Yeah. And like, here's the thing. So Escape from Tarkov, for example, has a customization system where you can customize every gun that you get down to like the firing pin. Okay. I mean, like you can take parts out of your gun. You can go kill somebody, take their gun out of their backpack, remove the firing pin and put it back in their backpack so that they have a non-functioning weapon for the rest of their game. It is just the most kind of whatever.
Okay.
The thing that makes you realize how insane it is the fact that you can, in fact, put a bullet into your gun that will not fire. You can do that, right? And then you can also put bullets in there that won't do damage to people. Why do these things exist? Because they want to just kind of screw with you. It needs to be realism for realism's sake, but, to the trolley side of things. And it sort of creates this culture where you should know your gun. You should know what that is. You need to spend the time researching this thing. You should understand that. Oh, you didn't look at the manual for the actual weapon? You've got that weapon in the game. You didn't look at the actual real life manual to understand how that gun works? What a loser.
So actually, these people are going to be leaking documents. And if you want documents leaked to you, patreon.com/Crub. We leak hundreds of hours of exclusive video content not month, but we do release new content every month exclusive to the Patreon. It's not hundreds of hours, but probably some of it is classified.
We're uploading Pluribus this weekend when it hits Apple TV. Come on through. That's a legal promise.
This is legal advice. Promise. Chris, what have you been playing lately? Because it's not going to be Tarkov.
Funny you mention it. It hasn't been Escape from Tarkov. No, I'm still mostly on Zaza in the last week. Pokemon Legends. I got the shiny charm. I breathed a sigh of relief and figured I could put the game down. No, Trav, I've been extremely high all the time.
Top shelf Zaza.
Dude, you can't do that. CRUBCAST just put out a video saying you need to quit weed.
Who?
Are they narcs?
CRUBCAST. Yeah, they work for the Bill Gates Foundation or something.
Which is your favorite shiny you got in Zaza so
Allegedly.
Gosh. I found a shiny Gibble. Alleged shiny Gibble. No, but I finally put that down, and then last night I was like, I guess I should play something else, so I'm not talking about the same thing 3 weeks in a row. So I went back to Digimon Story Time Stranger and made some progress in that. That continues to be a good JRPG. That is a great JRPG if you're a Digimon fan. It's one of those kind of vibes where it's like, oh, we finally got a good game. But it's definitely the one I could hand to someone and say, like, if you're going to play a Digimon game, play this one. But if you are a Digimon fan, it's a lot better of a game because all the other ones have been so not great. You know what I mean? So you kind of look at this one and you're like, oh, thank God it functions. There's not backtracking. There's not endless grinding. It just works. It has charm. And you're like, thank you, God. Thank you for mid. But it's the great kind of
That's
mid. You know what I mean?
Every time I watch the CRUBCAST podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Like we look at our podcast reviews, it's like, thank God for mid, and we're like, we see you there. No, but it's cool.
That's gonna be like 5 reviews after this now.
No, but it's a lot of fun.
Podcast in New Zealand or whatever.
Yeah, like there's like 300, 400 Digimon. They all have different. They have like 3 main attributes and then like elemental attributes. So there's a lot of fun, like rock, paper, scissors times 3 dynamics, and the boss fights are just crazy skill checks of like, do you actually know how to play the game? They're very challenging, weirdly enough. Yeah, I don't know. It's been like 10 years since the last Digimon JRPG, and it's just nice to have another one, you know? Like, I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, I was curious if you how far you had gotten in that, because I knew you were talking about it, and then, you know, Zaza came out, and obviously you stopped talking about it.
That took over my life. Yeah. I may be like actually only 12 hours into it, but I've played 16 or 17 just because, like, again, it's so infrequent that there's like a lot of Digimon I like, you know, and they haven't been in a lot of games. So I've kind of just been grinding through to turn my Digimon into those Digimon to go, oh, cool. Sure. I can finally play a game with this one. You know what I mean? A lot of that going on. So I'm spinning my wheels just because I am like too much of a fan, and I'm kind of just geeking out over stupid shit.
That's fair. It's weird to think that it's been 10 years since
Cyber Sleuth.
Cyber Sleuth, was that the one? Yeah. Although Survive came out after that. Congratulations on the release of that game.
It's an honor. Thank you. We also had Digimon World Next Order in 2017, which is a different kind of game, but is one of the other few we had, you know. So
yeah, like it's weird that it's been, because you see Cyber Sleuth on sale every 3 weeks for like $4, and
for both games.
It's like total. And it's like, oh, that's really cool to see them like continuing to like pull people in a little. You know, it's not like getting, you know, mega sales, but I've seen people that jump into the series and are intrigued by it. You know, the RPG fans out there.
Yeah. Like they should have had the Shin Megami Tensei artists do the lead character designs for those and this one, just to try to tell people like, this is like an SMT. You could come in on this one, you know, if you want. Very much
is like SMT, because you have to like convince the Digimon to join you, kind of.
No, but that'd be more fun.
I thought I saw you talking to some of them in battles when you were showing me the one time.
There may have been plot battles happening where they would talk at you during the fight as you would like get their health bar down the phases. But
that makes more sense.
Fool, how dare you come and attack me?
I want someone with that tone.
That's what I say to Chris every day.
I had a boss last night. He's a Digimon who had anime figures inside a cockpit, and he was talking like an anime villain and just like Doc-ocking these huge hands to come down, like Kirby boss fight style. And as you beat him up, he kept being like, "You fool! I will make new hands in this moment that'll counter you exactly." Like very much exactly what Im just invoked. And then you beat him, and he falls out, and he's like, "Oh no, my precious anime figure is broke thanks to you." And I'm like, "This is the right kind of dumb, but it's very dumb." So
I like
that does remind me. I'll circle back to Zaza, because it's been enough time that we can kind of talk about a couple
how
of
bad it actually was and how we hated it.
It is probably the funniest Pokemon game, because, Em, I don't know if you've been following. I know you haven't been following what's going on in Zaza, so I want to explain to you just to make myself laugh. They are in Paris in a post sort of giant death laser was fired 5 years ago Paris. So rent is really low because no one wants to live there. And a private company convinced the mayor to turn several parks in the city into separated out wild zones where Pokemon can be. There are Pokemon that can just explore outside of that, but they try to like corral them into these zones in parks. They will fight you if they see you in those parks. At nighttime, they turn several blocks of the city randomly assigned into battle zones where trainers will run around on rooftops and fight one another. There's a pack of like 47 lions that just hang out near an apartment complex and will kill you on sight with rocks that go through entire buildings.
You go to the roof to avoid them, and they can still kill you from the ground.
I see.
Yeah. So imagine living in this town where you can't go to the grocery store down the street because it's now 7 p.m. and you will get fought for doing so. Suddenly a new wild zone pops up and it's in front of your house. On your roof is a Pokemon that is 7,000 pounds and stomping, and you can't call the landlord. What do you think about that?
Like at first it was like, oh, so this is some weird like World War II thing, because you're talking about pushing all of the things into ghettos there. And then it's like, actually, it's lawlessness. And boy, I don't know. That's a weird one. That's really strange.
There's one of those on the east side of France where a cafe owner is just standing outside with all the dangerous Pokemon running around. So if he wanted to go to his cafe, I have a plot point related to that I want him to react to. Yeah. There's a point where you protect the CEO by attacking protesters and making them go away.
Are you serious?
And the game treats the protester like the villain.
Of course. I mean, I understood this when you said that a company bought all of the land and all the parks in the middle of the city.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, good.
Good. I forgot about that scene. I don't know how I keep forgetting about it, but there are like several NPCs in this game that'll just be like, yeah, I really don't like this. I don't like what they're doing. I don't like that Pokemon are coming in and just invading this town. And it's not because I don't want them here. It's because they're trying to kill me. There are several
Which is fair.
There are several berry vendors in the same area as a sand dragon that just buries underground. You go there to get a specific type of berry because you need to give it to someone whose Pokemon died or something. Mm-hmm. And you get attacked by several sand dragons and sand crocodiles. Some of them are 7 feet tall.
Sure.
And have red eyes and are larger and will kill you even harder.
All right.
Well, it made me really want to go to Paris, though. I'm not going to lie. It seems great.
But the plot point I was going to say was not even that. It just, that was a different thing. My favorite thing is that when you beat the game, the battles continue, and the first guy you fight is the same worst guy in the game. Like, because you go from rank Z to rank A, and the rank Z challenger has said, when you get enough points, you go into a promotion match against somebody else. You have to win the promotion match to go up a rank. The guy who's rank Z has said, I have lost 99 straight of these promotion battles. And he has like the shittiest Pokemon. When you battle in the post game and you continue this endless version of this thing, the first person you fight in one of these like bonus battles is that guy, and his Pokemon are, I think, lower level than they were by 1 level when you fought him at the start of the game. And I just love that because every other trainer that you fight has stronger Pokemon than they did when you fought them. So I thought at first, oh, this is like those shitty, like in the old Pokemon games, you'd fight the Elite Four and they'd stay the same level if you tried to grind them again and again. Right. I thought it was that. And I was like, that's really lazy. And then it turns out it's a joke. That guy just sucks that bad.
He's also in it to abolish all forms of transportation except taxi driver, which happens to be his job. So.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
He kind of sucks.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
His name is Zach.
Told me that.
He seems like a Zach.
That sounds insane. Like all of the things you're saying to me sound insane.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah. There's so much more that it's the funniest Pokemon game I think ever made. But yeah, that's all. That's all I have.
That's all I got, man. I don't do anything except this.
I only play Pokemon and cry.